So before Nancy and I come to say, I guess, the closing and call to action, Delilah from yesterday's panel, she was the youth who did a wonderful job on panel 1 yesterday, wanted to come up and share a few words with you all. So let's give her a big round of
applause. First, I want to say yesterday I was really nervous. But I just wanted to thank everybody for coming out, and especially Mr. Jones and Ms. Kim and my peers, Ms. Jahari, for having me here and talking on the first panel. It was really scary. Even after the fact, being able to go on the news and see myself, I would never imagine me here ever. But this was a great opportunity, and I just hope everybody has safe travels, and yeah, thank you.
So hello, everyone. I am so excited to kind of, again, say thank you all to coming. I feel kind of sneaky because I was like, how can I bring everybody I'm really interested in to one place to just hear them talk about things that I think are so important to kind of the health of our democracy, the health of our country, the health of our youth. And that's what happened today. And I thought we had a really wonderful mix of researchers and practitioners to really talk about how we think about these issues. There's a lot of conversations about how we act on them, but I think we need to kind of take a step back and understand how we think about them and the importance of kind of conversating with each other about them. And to be honest, I have not always been a really big fan of the discipline of psychology, because if you knew the house I grew up in, social justice was key to whatever path you took. And I didn't always feel like psychology did a good job of understanding how do we create a more just society. But I think this conference talked really well about how we merge these things, how the service of human development can be the service of a socially just society. And the other piece of that is, I saw this, have you guys heard of The Weekly? It's this thing with the New York, it's really cool, you should watch it. But on one of them, there was a student, these youth activists in New York, talking about the racial segregation taking place in the schools. And one of the youth said, she was speaking to, I think, the school board, and she was like, I know everybody loves to hear youth voice, but we need some adult action. And I think that's the other piece of this, which was really important, and why we wanted to really bring so many youth to show their voices between panels, making sure youth talked about the issues they have today, is because we want everyone here who does sit in a place of privilege to go back in these spaces and act on behalf of youth. Because the reality is the fact that we're here on a Tuesday and Wednesday, we can take the time off, we sit in places of privilege and can make action and make change that youth can't do yet. So whoever said, I think it was the last panel who said these things have to happen in conjunction. It's not fair to youth to always ask them to speak about these issues if we're not doing work on behalf of them in the spaces we come from. So again, thank you all so much for coming, and yes. Oh, quick note, afterwards I know some people are flying out later. Afterwards, I'll be walking around doing a tour. I don't know much about Charlottesville. I'm from California, as I've said many times. But if anybody wants to join our kind of walking around campus, even you're supposed to say grounds. Walking around grounds, we will be here.
So thank you, everyone. I'll echo Johari's thanks. Before we leave this room, though, I would like everybody, I'm going to do the call to action part of this. So I want everybody to just take a minute or two. I believe there should be Post-its on every table. I want you to just think for a moment, and I want you to jot down something on a Post-it, whether it's something that sparked you, that was new, that you came back to, that you're going to commit to, that you will walk out with this Post-it and go back into whatever space you inhabit outside of this room and take that action into that room with you. What are you going to do differently? Or what are you going to do in response to something here? And just take a minute and jot that down. So in the last couple minutes, I'm going to ask people to share some of that, and I will model that by starting. Even though I didn't actually write it on a Post-it note, I'm saying it now out loud to all of you, so I will be held accountable. One of the things that I've talked about doing when I became director of Youth-Nex was starting a youth advisory board. So I am committing to making that happen in the next 6 months or so. So I'm going to put that into action. So that is what I will do when I walk out of here. Anyone else? You can just popcorn it up.
Yeah, sure. I would like to continue to advocate for Curry's investment in our local public schools.
I'll in case Curry's investment in our local public schools. Advocating.
When I return, I'm going to emphasize the importance of educating for democracy and civic engagement in my educational psychology.
Good, so emphasizing the importance of educating for democracy and social justice in your course.
I'm part of a school in Oakland that's merging with another school next year because our district is broke and they're shutting down schools, but I'm on the design team for this new merged school, and right now it's all adults. And I'm expecting for there to be either a youth advisory council or a youth voice or something that will transition in terms of a youth council, in terms of designing what they want the school to be.
Awesome. So making sure that there is some kind of a youth council, youth voice informing the design of this new school.
Okay, I'll revitalize our 30-year-old program with the concepts and related strategies of transformative citizenship.
Ooh, I love. Yeah. So now I'm losing the word you said first. Refreshing, was that the word you? Revitalizing, even better. The program with the ideas of transformative citizenship. Was it transformative citizenship? Yeah. Yeah, I loved that. The whole idea of transformative citizenship, transformative SEL, that's, yeah. Anyone else want to share? Yeah.
I kind of want to, this inspires me to dedicate myself to engaging in more work on translation and translating the research into policy briefs and to policy papers. It's not an area that I was trained in, but I've had recent experiences, and now this conference just kind of pushes me more in that direction. So, thank you.
I love it. So engaging in more translational work for the research. Yeah, Karen.
I'm going to look further at this idea of
Enfranchising 16-year-olds. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you all. It has been such a pleasure to be able to spend the last day and a half with you. I appreciate everybody making space for this conversation in their lives. It is, I know, not easy to carve out a day and a half of time anymore, but I really appreciate everybody being in this space with us. I want to again thank Johari for her intellectual leadership of this conference. It was amazing. I want to thank the Youth-Nex staff, Leslie and Crystal and Martha. And thank you all. Please stay engaged with us if you're not already. Keep in touch. Let us know what you're doing. Let us know how we can support that work, including supporting translating work and any other work you're doing. And safe travels to you all. Thank you.